daughter suddenly fell to the ground. The mother, who was about to leave, saw that she could still stand up. She didn't pay attention and hurried out the door. Unknowingly, the younger daughter was already bleeding heavily and could go into shock at any moment. The reason the mother was in such a hurry to leave was because she had just received a phone call about the older daughter being in a car accident. The father, a doctor, had just stepped out of the operating room. Suddenly, it seemed like he saw his wife's figure. He froze in place. This morning, he had specifically told his wife to take good care of their pregnant younger daughter at home, because throughout her life, she had always put the older daughter first. She had always complained that giving birth to the younger daughter had hurt her body and caused her to be unable to have a son. So, the man had specifically reminded his wife. Who would have thought that in the hospital, he seemed to have seen his wife's figure? The man, feeling uneasy, wanted to call and ask her. But just then, a nurse came out and said that the pregnant woman in the operating room had suddenly started bleeding heavily. In the emergency moment, the father had no time to think further and began another round of surgery. The younger daughter kept calling her mother, but no one answered. Helpless, she could only call the hospital. When the father came out of the operating room, he called his younger daughter's phone again, but the nurse urgently pushed in another pregnant woman. When the father looked down, he was shocked to realize the pregnant woman was his younger daughter. He quickly asked the nurse to push his younger daughter into the operating room. After a series of emergency operations, the younger daughter finally woke up. The father comforted her, telling her not to worry, that as the best obstetrician, he would save her and her unborn child. When the younger daughter woke up, her body was very weak. She knew she was only hanging on by a thread, so she asked her father not to be sad. The next moment, she passed away. Meanwhile, the mother was still leisurely shopping with her perfectly fine older daughter. She accidentally broke a vase, which gave her a feeling that something might have happened to the younger daughter. Seeing her mother care so much about her younger sister, the older daughter pretended to be angry and walked away. At this point, the mother received a call from her husband. Before she could understand what had happened, her phone dropped and broke. This made the husband think she wasn't answering the phone. When the older daughter returned, she heard that her father had just called and tried to reassure her mother not to worry. She claimed that her father should be off work and would be going home to take care of her sister. The mother had planned to buy new clothes for her younger daughter's unborn child, but the older daughter immediately stopped her, saying that babies grow so fast the clothes wouldn't fit for long, and she decided to give her child's old clothes to the newborn. The mother happily agreed and then went to buy clothes for the older daughter's child. Unexpectedly, while on the street, she saw the father buying burial clothes. The mother felt uneasy and wondered if something had happened to the younger daughter. The older daughter quickly said that her mother must have seen wrong, but when they were heading home after buying the clothes, they happened to meet the father on the street. The mother questioned him, asking if he had just been in a funeral clothes shop. At this point, the father was very angry. He accused the mother of always favoring the older daughter, preferring to accompany the older daughter who was pretending to have had a car accident to go shopping, rather than visiting the seriously ill younger daughter in the hospital. In a fit of rage, the father revealed the news of the younger daughter's death.